Good morning, guys. As you can tell, I'm still sick. I did finally go to the doctor yesterday afternoon, and I have a severe sinus infection. So she gave me some good stuff for that. Some really strong ass amoxicillin. The pills are like huge, and she told me just to take some Flonase to get all the gunk out of there. So fingers crossed that I don't go 2 weeks with this cold. Let's start with the herbs and the planters behind me. Alright, we'll start down here. The little itty bitty lavender, the random pepper, all of the basil, lemon balm, and lemon mint, and anise. The licorice basil is taking its sweet ass time. Not sure if it's because it's in these planters and it is only that deep. The anise has begun to flower. The fenugreek has, I've considered that a loss because we never harvested. Actually, you can kind of see the seeds in there through the sunlight. This lavender is looking good. Another fenugreek. And we've actually had trouble out here. Can you see this, like, right here, this like white milky stuff? So we have had trouble with these white little fuzzy bugs that create these little like milky, looks like almost velvety, like little nest on the thing. They're woolly something, and they like hop almost like a grasshopper. I guess they can't cause too much damage because of their size, but they can cause whatever branch they're on to turn brown and die. So whenever I see them, I just kind of pick them off. And then in this last one, which is just being taken over by chamomile, this is the caraway. And the chamomile, you can see all the flowers are closed right now. I plan on doing like a video to show how to harvest them and what to do with the flowers, but you can see where I picked a lot of flowers off this already. And this down here you can see kind of some of the brown leaves did have those little bugs on them, but I shoot them away. Bye, Felicia. And then the dandelion is here. And then Hunter, hi buddy. Hi, handsome boy. We grew him from about 8 weeks old. We've been pretty busy, and I've been so sick that we haven't really done anything with this. The only thing really that I've did on these front planters is harvest the chamomile, and I have the flowers inside drying. We haven't harvested the dandelion leaves. Like I said, the fenugreek it just happened really quick. We didn't get a chance to do that. The lavender isn't quite big enough, so that's really it. And the caraway, I will do some more research just to make sure I was reading the right thing with that caraway, but I'm pretty sure it said the first year you don't really do anything with it. So if you guys know, let me know. But let's take a walk out to the garden. I am gonna try to get this done before we leave for work. I got my work shirt on, and it is about 6:30 in the morning on Wednesday. So let's go take a morning walk out to the garden. So I lied. I wanted to come and show you the side of the garage because stuff is finally getting tall enough to where I can tell what it is over here. We have some borage back here that it looks like something got a little hungry. I have some zinnias I planted down in here. These are just wildflowers. I thought I spread the seeds out a little better than I did, but apparently not. My row of sunflowers. is actually reaching height where I don't feel critters are going to get them. I have these flowers. Well, they're not flowers, but a plant. How awesome are those? They did have little white flowers in there, but they only need part sun, and they open up kind of like a clover. Looks like some critter damage, but nothing terrible. And there's another one of those plants. And a nasturtium. So a couple weeks ago I went to customers of ours' greenhouse and went a little crazy, because if you remember from previous garden walks that I had a couple of empty beds. So I just wanted something that would fill those. So I bought a bunch of flowers. And I got some planted, but there's still a lot of empty space in our garden. I'm not super happy. I think a bunny or something was just eating the raspberries. I'm not super happy with how much space is in the garden, but this happens every year. The garden just gets away from us. This garden is probably the best garden that I've had. This is my 3rd year. Oh, yeah, the bunny was totally eating raspberries. You can kind of see him right there. The garden might look like a little bit of a hot mess because I haven't been out here to weed or anything in actually over a week. I did try Sunday to get out here in the evening and weed, but the sinus pressure was so intense when I would bend over, pull weeds, and come back up. It felt like somebody was like beating my head with a hammer. I wasn't sure if I was gonna pass out or what. I didn't get it weeded, so sorry, not sorry. But let's start on this first bed here. Peas, peas everywhere, there's peas. So these just overnight peas, and I need to pick them. I mean, there's definitely enough for a few meals. So on the back of the peas is a squash. I never got to thin them out. I might just have to take some out. I don't think at this stage I'll be able to transplant them, but as you can see, they're just coming through. These peas shouldn't last too much longer, so I'm hoping the squash will just take over this bed. I mean, this one's coming out here. Look. Beetle. You're not welcome here. Man, it's just taking over this empty bed. And then on the other side, let me show you this cute wind chime with our little spider friend right here. Hey, little spider friend. I think it just sounds so pretty. And I'm a bird nerd, and it has a bird at the end. On this side, as you can see, squash is taking over. So we don't have, I see a bunch of flowers down there. You see them? So we'll see. They're so nice and soft. And then the watermelon is doing its job, climbing up this trellis. I mean, this thing has probably climbed up, I'd say 4 feet. But as you can see, the taller this moon and stars gets, the less moon and stars it has. We're going to the dark side. Carrots, which I might have planted too many in here. because I don't even know if the sun can get to them. But I don't know. Potatoes are starting to die, so I don't think it'll be long before we harvest those. Some lovely weeds. The lettuce that my chickens ate down 2 stalks. Still no broccoli yet. I mean, this is up to the top of my leg. So like I said, the broccoli is up to the top of my leg. I'm 6 foot, so it's pretty tall. I'm pretty sure it was the purple broccoli from MI Gardener. I mean, the plant looks really good. I just don't have any heads of broccoli. I did spot something super cute and yummy on the other side. I'll show you in a minute. The only broccoli that I have is from this itty bitty little plant right here. And I mean, you can see how tiny it is. I don't even know if that's anything I'm going to be able to eat. I don't know. Last year I'd already harvested a bunch of broccoli, so it just shows that this year everything is just so far behind. Whew. Got a little lightheaded when I bent over. Being sick is so wonderful. We harvested a bunch of raspberries over the weekend. I still don't know what those one plants are that I had talked about in my previous video, but I've picked a lot out of here. And then I also, in our brush over here, like I said, all this was here when we moved in, is another thorny bush with these on them. And I mean, there's way more on a branch than there is raspberries, and these are like in little clusters. I will turn you guys around and show you. But do you see how they're like in clusters? We're kind of thinking that they have to be some sort of berry, raspberry, blackberry. I'm not 100% sure, but if you know, and in the early summer they did have white flowers on them, so I'm not 100% what they are. There's no color to them yet, so if you know what they are, if they're just like a late season raspberry, please just let me know, because there's a lot of them. And we're gonna have to pick these raspberries. Let's continue on this garden walk. So on the other side of the broccoli on this trellis is cucumbers, and this little guy caught my eye over there. Are these guys bad? Are these guys good? I've seen them a few times, but the only thing on these plants are holes. So if you could just tell me. I don't see any sort of like eggs or anything. Oh, I lied. Look at that. Let's get these bad boys off of there. So I really just flipped up every leaf on that cucumber plant. And that was the only set of eggs I found. But we'll see. Never had to deal with as many pests in the garden before, but by the sounds of it, I'm not the only one that's dealing with these pests this year. Back to the cucumbers. They are doing their job. I actually have quite a few little baby cucumbers. More cucumbers here. This is where we had the slug problem on the other side of this trellis. I did sunflowers. A couple of them are getting decent size. There's some zinnias and calendula in there. These are the scarlet runner and the contender beans. This bed isn't really doing that great. And then some golden beets on the end here. And then on this half of the bed, I believe these are purple beauty tomatoes. Some marigolds, some nasturtiums. We'll see. Not a total wasted space. Zinnias and calendulas. And then on the other side of the arched trellis is more peas. Which, I mean, look at look at all those bad boys. Like I said, those things got to be 7 feet tall. I'm 6'1" and they are well over my head. And we have purple beauty tomatoes. Oh my goodness, a lot has changed in a week. Look at those. I have only grown red slicer tomatoes. I never even did cherry tomatoes. So these are super exciting. I don't even eat tomatoes, people. But I plan on canning them because I eat everything that tomatoes are made with, just not raw tomatoes. They kind of freak me out a little bit and they're gross. Sorry. Not sorry. So like I said, I believe these are the purple beauty tomatoes. And then these, I'm thinking are the same thing. Oh, I must have missed like a weird blossom here because that guy is a little wonky. Little bit of purple. I need to do something to support these tomatoes here because they were a last minute addition. And then I have more bush beans back here with some damage, you can see, but nothing terrible. So I'm totally weird about tomatoes. I don't eat them raw. I don't eat like salsa or anything like that, but I love ketchup and I love tomato sauces and all that kind of stuff. And I love how your hands smell after you touch a tomato. So I know I said before I want to be brave and try more things out of my garden that I'm growing. So maybe those purple beauty tomatoes will be it. Let's go over to the newest raised bed. Chicken food bucket. We didn't grow that. This is when I was pruning the tomatoes a couple days ago before I felt like I wanted to pass out. So I've pruned these pretty heavily this far. They've all kind of started reaching the trellis. My marigolds are getting ready to bloom. And they all have the one main stalk, and you can see little cherry tomatoes down there. These are the white cherry tomatoes the Stivers actually sent me. So thanks guys, they're growing. But this plant here, I couldn't really tell which one the main stem was. And as you can see, I mean, this thing is like so huge. But I couldn't really tell. I mean, it's just a cluster, so we're going with it. We're winging it. Might get something to support it. My 2 extra tomatoes are doing good. The zinnias in the middle are doing good. Peppers are loving this weather. Golden beets are also apparently loving this weather, which it looks like something's starting to grow. And then the basil is doing really good. Strawberries, or should I say green leaves. The corn, and then the beans. Corn's getting there. We're already off to a better start than last year. And if you can see behind me, we decided to get a pool. We made a few upgrades to it because the pump that comes with it is just not strong enough, and with the kids at their dad's half the time and Chris and I working till 6-7 o'clock every night, we don't use it every day. We do plug the pump in, but it does not circulate enough water to kind of keep it clear. So it's starting to turn a little bit green, even with all the chlorine and stuff in it, and that pump going 8 to 10 hours a day. It's just still not enough. We did enjoy it on Sunday. Chris's brothers came over with their families, so nieces and nephews loved it. And Chris got a pretty bad sunburn, and I got a bad sunburn as well. But mine didn't blister. His whole back is like blisters, and he's a pale Irish boy, so. Zinnia and calendula, and the little planters are looking good. These beets are looking good, minus that beetle on it. And then I had 2 random tomatoes, so I threw them there. These tomatoes right in there were actually, get this. So I had them in a grow bag like this, and they were just started, but I didn't plant them. So they sat out here in a grow bag for probably a month. And I just kept watering the grow bags in the little trays, and I was like, wow, these guys hung on. I'm like, let's give them a chance. I had a couple empty planters there. I was like, these guys deserve to live. So we're gonna try to grow them. I'm standing by the river, which Chris cleared a lot, so we kind of have a view. We have a lot of clearing to do, but if you can see the bank, how steep it is, it just kind of goes down. So it's not really the easiest hill to clear, but he wants a chainsaw on a stick so it can make his work a little bit more easier. We'll see, Chris, we'll see. But thanks for checking out the first walk through the garden of July, and there's still gonna be a lot more to come, and hopefully each week everything just doubles in size and we start producing some yummy goodies. We will see you guys on the next video.